Hello everyone, I am Oğul Sadi Nasuhoğlu. I am a first year mechanical engineering student in Bilkent University. Today, I will be conducting my experiment for my Physics 102 project. I will be proving Ohm's law by constructing three different circuits and applying the same voltages to the three of them. Then, I will use Ohm's law to calculate the voltage across them, and I will compare the theoretical values with the experimental values.
As you can see on the screen, I use 5 different equipment to conduct this experiment. First, I use 3 different resistors to construct the circuit. Then, I use an ammeter to measure the current. Then, I used crocodile cables to connect the circuit. Then, for the power, I used an adjustable power supply, which I set to 20 volts. And lastly, I used a scientific calculator to conduct any calculations. In the first part of the experiment, I constructed circuit 1, which was consisting of 3 resistors connected in series. Then I applied a 20 volts voltage to them, as you can see on the screen, and calculated its current. Then for the second part of the experiment, I connected 2 resistors in parallel and the other one in series with them, and I applied the same voltage to them and calculated the current, as you can see on the screen again.
Geçen gösterdiğinde bana şeyleri gösteriyorsun ya çarpımları. O var mı? Sanki ikisi birlikte gidiyor. Doğru yapıyorum.
Then for the third part, I constructed the circuit again, and I connected 2 resistors in parallel and again one in series with them, and I applied the same 20 volt voltage to them, and I calculated the currents across the circuit. After I had calculated all the currents in all the 3 circuits, I noted them on table 1 with the resistance values and the inverse resistance values. And then with the current values and the inverse resistance values I acquired, I plotted a graph for better and more accurate results, and I drew a best fit line for that graph using a computer, and then I calculated the slope of that best fit line, because the slope of that best fit line gave me the voltage across the circuit. After I've calculated the experimental voltage value, I then compared it to the theoretical voltage value, which was the voltage value that I set the power supply to. Then I compared these two results, and then I found an error percentage, a very small error percentage of 1.6%.
In conclusion, I completed my objective of proving Ohm's law by using three different circuits, but there were some slight errors to my calculations because the crocodile cables I've used had also resistance of them, and the ammeter I've used also had a resistance, and the resistance values of the resistors might have been affected by the heat of the lab environment. And thanks for listening to my project reports.